Hi there, George Karras here. I wanted to talk a little bit today about analyzing your career and where you're at. And there's a really simple way to think about your career that I find to be very helpful. And what it is to think about how much you enjoy where you are today and how much it's going to sort of pay off, if you will, in the future. And this isn't something I created, it actually comes from Tal BenShhar, who was a professor at Harvard for a long time and consultant and sort of been on The Daily Show and New York Times bestseller and all those things. But I used to work with Tal, and he shared this, and I thought it was a really, really neat way to think about your career. So one of the ways to think about it is, do you enjoy what you're doing today? You know, sort of yes or no, right? And that's one thing. And then as you think about whether it's going to pay off, is it going to pay off in the future? Yes or no, or sort of low or high, if you will. The payoff's going to be high and the payoff's going to be low. And when I'm talking about future payoff, what I'm talking about is it could be payoff in terms of it's going to pay really well in terms of stock options and money and sort of financially, or it could be payoff in terms of making you feel like you really made a difference in the world. So, you know, the payoff is, you know, I saved the lives of 10,000 kids in a poor country, you know, as an example. So present benefit and future benefit. And so if you think about that as kind of a 2x2 sort of divided this way, you can think about these different quadrants, right? So one quadrant is this group of people who love what they do today, but it's got no future in it, right? And you can tend to think about that as the, you know, the ski instructors or the surf bums or whatever, right? And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being either of those things. It's just, it's not going to sort of pay off over the long haul. And so you probably know somebody who's sort of in that kind of quadrant. And then there's the people who don't enjoy what they do today and it's not going to pay off in the future. And that's kind of the dead end zone, right? It's like I'm in this dead end job. I punch the clock every day. I hate it. It's misery. I can't wait till Saturday. And so that's another group. And then there's a third group, which many of us find ourselves in, which is what we call the rat race, which is I don't enjoy what I do today, but I know it's going to pay off in the future. And that tends to be financially when people tend to talk about it. So it's going to pay off in the future financially. And that's the rat race quadrant, right? So I don't like what I'm doing, but it's going to pay well. And therefore I drive a really nice car to show everybody how awesome and successful I am, but really I'm not happy about what I'm doing. And then the last place is you enjoy it today and it's going to pay off in the future. And that's really the quadrant where you want to be, right? A job you absolutely love. And I think what you'll find is there are very, very few people in that quadrant, but that's really what you're striving for, and it really is achievable. I've seen it, you know, with clients and with myself, and it's very real. It's a real place that you can get to. And so the key variable is really thinking about which of the quadrants you fit in today, and how can you sort of move to that place where you really enjoy what you're doing today, and it's going to pay off in the future. And that's the challenge that I sort of leave with you to think about is how can I get myself into that sort of upper right quadrant where I love what I'm doing, it's going to pay off in the future, and really enjoy the journey as much as the destination. Thanks for watching.